Alright, I'll give people a minute to get the notification. This isn't gonna be a live one today because I have limited time, but I just want to go on a little bit of a rant. So, the thing that's pissing me off today is let me just give you a little backstory. So, for the last 3 weeks now, I've been having an issue with the internet box, right? The router. But for the sake of remembering, I'm just going to call it the internet box, but it's the router, just so you know what I'm talking about. So, for the last 3 weeks now, we've been having an issue. Like, say, for instance, um, if you unplug it and plug it back in, it will reset it. And then if I go on my game, like I go on the Xbox to play Call of Duty or something, it will literally kick me off like 5 minutes later. You know what I'm saying? So, it's unnecessary. It's just completely unnecessary. So it's like shit, we're paying, like $200 a month for this service. It should work exactly right when I need it to without a problem, right? So I was like, I'm getting pissed off now. How is it they're paying $200 a month for this service, this T-Mobile service, and then whenever I'm going online to play a game, like say for instance, I'll be in like the second match out of five on search and destroy, right? And then I'll get disconnected right as my team's winning. It's like shit, here we go again, right? Or I'll be in the middle of a team death match. I'm at 30 kills to 10 deaths, and I get disconnected and lose all the data from it. It's like, oh, it pisses you off. So we called them up, and they were supposed to send a box out to us. And of course, what do you know? They send it out, but then we get a message the next day that the box was lost in the shipping. Like to send it to a different address or something like that. It's like okay, so we call them up, and apparently they tell us that it was a scam that we got on the phone. That they actually said the package is en route to be shipped out to us, but it was actually a scam that came through on the phone telling us to contact the UPS to, fix the problem. It's like, wait a second, how the hell could it be a scam? It's like, who the hell would know that we're needing a new router? Like who the hell would know that? What scammer would know that? The only one who could know that is people who work at the company, right? And I also want to point out, it wasn't only me who got the message on my phone. It was another person that's on my service plan who got the message. So, for hypothetical argument, if it was somebody just hacking, trying to scam, well, how the hell would they get both of us randomly? And first of all, how the hell would they know that we even contacted them to ship us out a new router? How the hell would they know that? And the answer is, well, they can't. So what happened was, of course, you had to wait an extra additional day. We're supposed to get free shipping for it, but of course, it was supposed to come here the next day. Then we got to wait another day, of course. And then, of course, it got here today. And what do you know? Of course, they give us the router, but they forget to give us the cord to connect the thing to the wall. And of course, they forget to give us the SIM card for it, which is, it's like the brain of it, right? It needs that in order to properly work. It's like, so it's like, wait, hold on a second. What the hell? So I have all these difficulties. And keep in mind, it's been going on for 3 weeks now. The internet, the in and out, right? In and out. Like, y'all remember a couple days ago, I tried to do a live stream and Caden came on. And of course, I had to cut the stream short because every 2 minutes, my internet will cut out on me, right? Good example of what I'm saying. So it just pisses me off. So we got to go down there to the local shop. And oh, and I forgot to mention the other day when we had this problem, we not only called them, but then before that, we went down to the local shop, the T-Mobile in the city here, and we were asking them about the problem, and they said, well, we technically could give you the box here, but you have to pay the rest of your bill to get it, because we're a little behind. Thinking to myself, it's like, shit, y'all should give us $100 off our bill, for the difficulty that we've been facing. We should get $100 off for this trash that we're dealing with. If y'all claim that you value, your customer satisfaction, as the slogan goes, right? So, it's still ongoing with that. Really got to go down there and not only pick up the damn cord, but got to pick up the SIM cord. And hopefully then it will fix the problem. But that's the aggravation that I've been, trying to deal with for the last couple of weeks now, just on the internet problem. Hey, how you doing, John? Hope you're doing well. Um, but yeah, it's just nothing but aggravation. It's unneeded, but this is the shit that's going on. Something else I found funny I was laughing at is the other day I got a comment from this cat. What was this guy? Pathways? Y'all remember that cat from a couple streams ago? Um, I dropped a link in the chat for the dude. He's like one of Perry Green's, zombies. So he was in the comment section on one of my vids the other day, and he was like, "Oh, it's God didn't design for a man to have multiple wives. So, don't you think it's a bad idea for a man to get multiple wives? Because that's adding to God's plan." And then I asked the guy, it's like, "Hey, if you got shit to say about it, why don't you just click the link when I'm live and we can have a discussion about it?" Like, hey, Deacon's right, right? Deacon Hakaw's right. People talk shit in the comments, but then when you drop a link for people to join and talk about the problem, then nobody wants to do it. And again, it's sad, but this is what's going on, right? So everybody's, all tough, right? Everybody's, you know, uh, a saint of Jesus in the comment section, but then when you drop that link for them to join and have a discussion, nobody wants to do it, or very few people. Like what? 1 out of 10 people, 1 out of 20 people, actually hop on and have a discussion, right? So I was just laughing at that imbecile the other day, right? I asked him a couple times, like, "Hey, do you got book, chapter, verse on that? Like you got to show in the Bible where that's condemned, and you certainly cannot do that." Like even when I had that debate with Caden a couple days ago, like I asked him, "Can you show book, chapter, verse that shows that this is unlawful?" And they can't do that. All they have is, early church fathers this, early church fathers that. And they can't really go off of the Bible. They can't go off of the verses, because they would be cut on that. It's a damn shame, but it just shows that a lot of people out here that are trying to, teach the Bible, a lot of people out here who call themselves teachers, they're not really, they don't know what the hell is going on. Hey, that's why Christ said, don't believe everybody, don't believe every spirit that, comes unto you and confesses Christ, because many false apostles and false believers went out into the world. Like I'll give you an example. Like one I brought up in the debate was that Revelation 2:2. It says we have tried them who say they are apostles and are not, and we found them to be liars. Right. So, mention, oh, early church fathers, this and that. It's like, well, those are not inspired. Like who ordained them? The church did, right? So again, certainly doesn't mean everything they say is wrong, but their teachings on certain things, that's not doctrine. That's not Bible law. So when we have a discussion about the scriptures, we got to keep it book, chapter, verse. Like I'll give an example, right? If you read Romans 4:15, it says, "Where there is no law, there is no transgression." So you can't show where there's a law that says a man cannot have 3 wives or 2 wives. So you cannot say that he's in sin if he does it, because there's no book, chapter, verse that says that. Now you could say that's your opinion, and you're welcome to give your opinion, but your opinion is not Bible, right? Your opinion is not law. The Apocrypha says many have deceived themselves by their own vain faults in their opinions. Right, so Caden would be a good example of that. Pathways would be a good example of that. One thing weird, I was on what's this dude? Jay Gee, right? This other dude out there, Jay Gee. I was on his channel a couple of days back, and I was having a discussion with somebody. Oh damn, what was her name? Um, yeah, I can't remember her name, so we'll just call her Georgia, just to keep it a simple, right? So Georgia was telling me that her view on it was, well, when you read about, in like the law, when it talks about, not stealing or, adultery or, stuff like that. Bear for me a second. Stuff like that. Um, that's actually like spiritual, like it's not physical, right? So she was saying that, if you were to go to the store and steal something, that's not against God right there. Right. That's not against God to steal something. Let me just hit this let me just give me a second here. All right, sorry about that. I just had to check something important in the background. Yeah, but yeah, going back to what I was saying, she was saying like, "Oh, it's just all spiritual today." So then, I cut Georgia because I asked her a question. Asked her, "Wait, so you're saying that worshiping idols, it's like a spiritual thing? It's not like a sin if you were to do it?" So I asked her, like, "What about if somebody went and they got like a statue of like Buddha or something like that, or Shiva, or all these other thousands of pagan gods, and what if they worship that?" Or like pray to it, give offerings to it, like would that be sin? And she told me no. It's like, well, how the hell do you deal with when the Bible says that you're not supposed to worship these idols? And then it literally describes that, right? Made from hands, made out of wood, made out of stone. So if it's not literal, then why is it describing them being made out of wood and stone? So that's strike one. So again, it's just very bizarre, some of these doctrines that people out here have came up with. It's very bizarre and strange. On one hand, you got dummies saying that, it's you're wicked if you teach people to keep God's law. On the other hand, you got idiots that think that we're living in heaven right now. On the other hand, you got, these free grace zombies out here. That's a whole nother can of beans right there. That's a little bit much to get into here. But again, it's aggravating some of the garbage that people out here believe and repeat in. It's very bizarre and very strange. Like I was talking to one of my buddies, Miles, on what is it, the Gmail he sent me. It was telling me, this dude I did a debate with maybe last year, I believe the cat's name was like Polymouth, something like that. We'll call him Polymouth. And the brother was telling me, right, Miles told me, "Hey, look, man, even if Christ descended from the heavens himself and came down here and bitch slapped Polymath across the mouth, that wouldn't even change his view on what he believes, right? Like, even if the Christ descended and backhanded him and gave him the truth, that still wouldn't change his mind on the subjects that he's wrong on." And I was laughing. It's like, yeah, you're right, man. Even if the Christ descended and, backhanded this dude and gave him the true gospel, that still wouldn't change this guy's opinion. It shows how ignorant and how what's the word I'm looking for? How prideful a lot of people are out here, right? Like nobody wants to take the fact that they could be wrong on something. But all of us that are sincere, at some point or another, we had to acknowledge that we had some errors, and we had to learn from those errors. And I'm certainly no exception to that myself, right? I at one point in time was deceived, just like the next person, right? We all were. Hey, the Bible says that we all went astray from the womb, right? And that's every one of us. There's no exceptions. So yeah, a lot of people just, are not humble about it, right? They think that they got like all the answers. Like some of these cats that you might have a discussion with, like what's this cat? Ace Theo, right? Which he got his ass cut to shreds. I talked to that dude a couple days ago on Jay Gee's channel. It's bizarre what these idiots believe. Like, how the hell could you believe in universalism? And by the way, when I say universalism, I'm not talking about the Catholic faith, even though the word Catholic means universal. But the universalism, they believe that like every person on earth is going to be saved, which I don't know how the hell you could read the Bible and come to that garbage belief. Like, how the hell could everybody on earth be saved if the Bible literally says in John the third chapter that he who doesn't believe on the Christ, he's already condemned? So how the hell is everybody going to get saved if it says if you don't believe on the Son, you're already condemned? So that's strike one, right? I mean, hell, that I knocked the ball out of the park with that one verse alone in John the third chapter. And all they can stand on, all, it says the word all, right? It says the word all. It's like, okay, well, like, are there examples in the Bible where the word all doesn't mean everybody? Like, I'll give an example. The Bible says that they're going to cause all to receive a mark in the hand, but then we find out that the elect are on earth at the same time and they don't get it, right? Not everybody's going to take that mark in the hand, but the Bible says all. He's going to cause all to do it. So clearly, that's an example where all doesn't mean all. It can mean a lot, but it doesn't mean all. Or I'll give you another example. There's a verse in the Gospels that says all the world has went after Christ, right? The Pharisees said all the world has went after him. Now, clearly, all the world didn't go after Christ. It was just talking about a good chunk of people at that time. I'll give you another one. In Luke chapter 2, verse 1, says that when a decree from Caesar Augustus that all the world should be taxed. The Romans didn't tax the entire world. So it was just talking about the territories they had under their control. Wasn't talking about like literally every landmass on earth was paying tribute to them. That's not what it's talking about by context. So again, by those couple examples, the word all doesn't mean all. So their whole standpoint for the argument is completely refuted just off of those very basic elementary talking points. It's sad. Like like I was talking to Jamie, right? That Babel, what is this guy? Babel on, Babel off, which he has a very strange community over there. Well, I joke with him whenever I go over there, I tell him, I have to keep this brainwashed and, elementary level when I come on your channel, because, the people that come around there are actually, pretty slow people. Again, no offense, but, a lot of people that over there, they're not, they're not the brightest bulb in the box, right? Or the other term, they're not the sharpest knife in the drawer, for lack of better terms, right? So, when you go over to talk to certain people like that, you got to, keep it, elementary level and, hell, preschool level at times. I mean, shit, like some of these dudes are struggling to even quote John 3:16. It's like, wait, what? It's like, aren't there like, when you go to vacation Bible school, isn't that like the first thing they teach you there? Like, I remember in elementary school, we all had to remember that. I'm just talking about, you know, like, uh, like something public, right? Not even something religious. Like a damn public school, you even learn that there. Yeah, any 5-year-old can quote that. Some of these dummies out here can't even quote that. But they're on these religious streams, like, trying to have discussions. It's remarkable to me. It's very bizarre. Let me see. I had a show scheduled for later tonight. I'm not sure if I'm gonna reschedule that, but it's gonna just depend on what I'm doing. Gonna depend on what I'm doing at the time, So I try to do what I can with the time I have, but it doesn't always work out, right? Like hell, like I was joking. This dummy, Perry Green, is like, oh, ETT had to reschedule the debate. See, that shows that he was running. It's like, dummy, you do realize sometimes in real life, things have to be rescheduled. Excuse the background noise. Like sometimes, say for instance, when Hell, like I was even going to say in the debate, make a joke about, hey, I know Perry knows a thing or two about rescheduling things due to the amount of court dates this guy had to attend. But that's not even a lie. That's true, right? The dude literally would tell you that on his channel. So again, it's not the end of the world if somebody has to reschedule a discussion or anything like that. Hey, how you doing, Alfred? I seen you in the comment section the other day. Yeah, typically I don't get to do streams in the daytime like this. Again, there's a lot of situations going on right now. There's a lot of shit going on right now that, hinders what I'm capable of doing. So hey, look, I'm just taking it a day at a time at this point. That's the way I'm looking at it. Hey, even the scriptures say, don't think upon tomorrow, for nobody knows what a day can bring. Right. So you don't know what the hell is going to happen tomorrow, man. So you got to just take every day one step at a time. That's just a wise thing to look at. Of course, it's a wise thing to put stuff away for the future too, like talking about, making investments, setting aside some food and water, um, investments into, um, property, saving up some cash, and stuff like that. Sorry, I got a call coming in. Oh, hopefully I can address that later. So, yeah, it's yeah, a lot going on, but it is what it is. That's how you gotta look at it, man. Yeah, who the hell keeps calling? Can I excuse that in the background? But nothing I can do about that right now. You know what I find funny? Because I won't get any call all day, but except the one time that I decided to do a live stream at 4 o'clock, then like five people call me, right? Like, isn't that ironic? Right? Again, it's always at the most inconvenient times. That's just how it typically, turns out. Eh, But yeah, it's I don't even know what to say honestly, right? I really don't know at this point. You know, I can't really blame a lot of people out here for not wanting to put anything aside for their future, right? Like a lot of, younger people around my age, they're just partying, having fun, wasting all their money. They don't have, $30 to their name at the end of the week. You know, Even though in a way that's a foolish way to live, but then on the other hand, you can't blame these people because some of them can see, the depressing state of the world, and some of them clearly can see that there's no reason to put aside anything for the future because there's no certain future. And that's a true statement, right? Like, there's no reason to invest in this place 50 years down the line, 40 years down the line. I mean, shit, we don't even know if this place is going to be here in 2026 at the rate this shit's going right now. So again, you can't blame for people. You can't blame people for wanting to have fun and, spread bend their money while they got it, because the future is definitely not bright. And that's a religious man telling you that. That's as I would say, a righteous man telling you that. So I can't even imagine how some of these, peons, simple-minded, bird brain, simps in the world, how they would view it, right? Because a lot of these people are living that YOLO lifestyle, right? You only live once. That's the mindset they have, right? Hey, do whatever you can while you can, because you only live one time. That's the mindset that people are in. And that's how they were raised. What is that? The Aleister Crowley, right? Do at thou will, right? That's the lifestyle people out here are raised in, right? It's only about you. Don't care about anybody else. Take what you can, give nothing back. And that's the mindset that most people have out here, man. And that's even in scriptures. It says that in the last days, men will be lovers of their own selves. They'd be, they'd be rebellious. They'd be disobedient. They'd be, a whole lot of shit. Again, you can go back and read it yourself. I believe you can read about that in Matthew 24, among other places. Right. Mark 13, Luke 21, as Article mentions. Right. And you're seeing that out here. Right. All the scum and, the worst of the worst is out here. Like, hell, you want to see really bad? Go on YouTube and look up, what is this place called? Um, Kensington, Philadelphia. Kensington, Philadelphia, which that's only like an hour away from where I'm at. If you look that up, man, yeah, that shit's really bad. I was just watching an hour-long documentary about that place yesterday. Man, you want to see real bad? You look that up. But don't forget, though, because according to some of these YouTube dummies, those people are in the kingdom. As stupid as that sounds. It's hilarious. So, yeah, first of all, how the hell could this be the kingdom if whenever I go to the damn mall or go into a public parking lot, I gotta, watch the concrete under my feet so I don't step on a damn needle that some druggie dropped. Like, how the hell is that the kingdom if I gotta watch where I step so I don't step on a damn needle or something? Right? Or so a damn, broken glass shard doesn't go through my foot. Because I wear Crocs. So how the hell is this Christ kingdom if we have to worry about some of these basic things? Right? So, some of these dummies would tell you the church is dwelling safely today. But how the hell is the church dwelling safely? Like, how the hell does that make sense? Like, last thing I checked, like, all these churches under attack, like, around the world, aren't churches being set on fire? Aren't Christians being persecuted? Same thing with Muslims. But it's like, how do we pretend that this is not happening? Right? So how the hell are the Christians dwelling safely if there's literally hundreds of churches each year that are, attacked and, persecuted in different ways? Like even in Ukraine, there's literally churches getting hit with shells every other day. I'd argue that there's probably been at least 100 to 150 churches completely destroyed over there within the last nearly 3 years now. If I had to take an educated guess, that's what I would say if I had to take a guess. So they weren't dwelling safely. How the hell were they dwelling safely if all those churches got hit and taken out? Again, people just don't think. Some of these dummies on YouTube, they just don't think, right? They speak before thinking, right? They act before thinking, like some of these idiots out on the street out here, man. Like a good example of that would be road rage. Hell, like I remember this one time I was sitting there outside a damn Dollar General, and next door there was like a damn Arby's, and the dude got something happened. The dude got cut off in the traffic, so the dude followed the guy who cut him off, and he chased him literally inside the Arby's, and they were having a damn near fist fight inside of the Arby's, and I could see because I was sitting there in the car. I was watching them through the window there. You could see into the restaurant, and these dudes were having a damn near fist fight just because the dude got pissed off that he got cut off at the light. So again, if people out here are getting into fist fights about damn, just getting cut off in traffic, it shows you the mindset that these people are in. Hey, how you doing, Manny? Glad to see you here. Hell, like I remember when I used to live in Florida, on Black Friday, like a Walmart not far from me, there was an incident where somebody literally got shot and killed over a damn parking spot. Like, I kid you not, I'm being serious. Where somebody got shot and killed over a parking spot on Black Friday. It's like, wow. So people are willing to lose their livelihood by going to jail for probably a couple decades by killing somebody over a damn parking spot just to get a couple discounts on Black Friday. It's crazy to me. But again, this is what's going on out here. Again, it ties back to the scriptures. It says people would be like this in the last days. And we're certainly seeing that. Certainly seeing that. It's a leaf blower in the background going off, but I hope the camera, or I mean the volume doesn't pick that up. My bad if it does. It's funny. Any other day, I wouldn't hear that outside, but of course, the one day I'm doing a stream early, it is outside. Like, what are the odds of that? You know what I'm saying? Like, on Black Friday down there, outside some of these malls, like people literally go down there 3 days in advance and they literally like camp outside these stores, just to get a discount on like couple $100 computer or something like that. Like hell, they camp outside of the Best Buys, the Lowe's, the hardware, freight, this could go on and on. Right, sporting goods store, they camp outside for days on end, like literally set up a camp out there so they can be like the first two people in line. Shows how what people are willing to do just to save a couple dollars. But like I just seen a short earlier, like a story of these two dudes who instead of paying the damn couple $100 plane ticket to travel across a country or two, these dudes hid inside where the wheels fold up. And then what happened to these guys is you know, they, they froze and fell out of the damn plane when it was flying. So, it shows you those dudes, since they weren't willing to pay like the $300 for the ticket, they lost their damn lives, just being stupid. Again, it shows you that some people out here, they just, don't think very smart. I'll give an opposite example. I've seen a millionaire, like I believe it was, oh, what is it? Yeah, I can't remember the name of the show, but there was this millionaire on there, literally has multiple millions in the bank. But what she would do is literally penny pinch everything. Like her car needed a $600 repair. She wouldn't even do that. She half-assed that. And it was a serious problem with the car, right? So she's literally putting her own life at risk to save a couple $100. It's like shit. If you got, 4 or 5 million in the bank, why not just buy a new car and not have to worry about it for a long time? And it doesn't even have to be anything nice. It's not like you have to spend, 70 grand on a new car. You can just get something for like 25 grand, right? Something used, but in, very good condition. That would work. You don't need something brand new from the shop. It's bizarre to me. It's like how the hell could you have millions but you're putting your life at risk by driving an unsafe car that needs a couple $100, fix up, but they have to half-ass that. It's bizarre to me. But it is what it is, I guess. I'm not sure how long I'm gonna go on here for, but yeah, I just wanted to just go on a little bit of a rant, because I had a couple topics on mind that I wanted to wanted to speak about. Felt the need to speak about. Let me see real quick. Yeah, let me just check something. I'll be right back. All right, there we go, there we go. Man, he said, change your name to Rant ETT. Shit, maybe you'll have to do that as inside joke, man. Because I don't know if you know this or not, but you can change your name on StreamYard without charge, and you can do it as many times as you want. So shit, I might have to. Like I know I did it a couple of times. Like I said, like once I named myself the real preacher, just as a little jab at Perry Green as an inside joke. Right, he's the preacher, but I'm the real preacher. Or stuff like that. Just little jokes like that I find funny. But yeah, you can change it to wherever you want. Like sometimes when sometimes if I join a stream, I might call myself Roberts. It can also change your icon pictures too. Again, a lot of people, diss on Discord. Pardon the pun, but a lot of people like to diss on Discord and diss on StreamYard. But you really can't fault Discord or StreamYard because both of them are free, 100% free, even though there's upgraded versions. But I mean, how the hell can you complain about something that's free? It doesn't make sense. Like, how can you complain about Discord if you can literally talk to your friends on there free of charge? You just need internet connection.